Hello, hello. How's it going? We'll see how well I'll be able to stream as I'm home alone with the kids. We'll see. Might have to stop the stream if one of them wake up and go deal with them. We'll see. Hello, Rip, Atski, Matthias. I'm good. How are you guys? So I'm gonna do this exhibition in I think it's gonna be in Paris. So I want to start painting about it. So I'm just kind of experimenting. Hey, good morning, Jordy. Good morning. Hello, good evening. Hey, Holmes. Good morning. Embedded into my subconscious to do morning streams. Kind of playing around with posing. I want to make like a Viking, a female Viking superhero. J-Saurus, that's funny. That's great. Good evening. Yeah, so the challenge time is probably like an hour or so more. We'll see how it goes with my kids, but I'll paint some personal stuff now, and then I think switch over to your guys' entries later. Hopefully, my kids will stay asleep. Matthias is cool. Hey, Everin. Kuru. Yeah, Matthias, I got it. Well, that's nice. That's clever. I mean, I guess you bought it for downloadable. Then it doesn't matter. It's just IP login, logging your location. Hey, Dennis, or passenger. I was gonna start streaming a bit earlier, but my daughter woke up, so she already woke up once. So I'm hoping she'll stay asleep. We'll see. Obviously, I can't be overly loud because usually when I do extra streams, I close the office, and my wife deals with the kids if they wake up. But she's abroad at the moment. But I was thinking, like about superheroes, like female superhero, right? Like when you think about it, like the whole sex appeal thing, right? I have a daughter, um, and if I would tell her to be like to look for a female role model, as in superhero like role model, there's a lot of them that their actions are cool, but the way they look is not very. It's not very cool, you know. To have the whole package. I mean, Wonder Woman looks like a bedazzled stripper. Um, so yeah, like, and I don't know if I would tell like my daughter to look up to Wonder Woman in the whole package. Okay, like she's strong and immortal, whatever. But a bit weird, isn't it? Definitely, Jordy. You can definitely tell they're made by men. And that's a huge shame, really. Like, where's the female Iron Man? Or some original female thing, right? It's all like you have to key into men's lust. There's not a lot of non-sexualized female heroes, unfortunately. I think that's the problem. Is there one called Ironheart? Power Girl. Let me see what the Power Girl is. Oh, that one. Yeah, maybe not. I wouldn't tell my daughter to look up to that person. Uh, Jail. Yeah, I think drawing in general is therapeutical and relaxing. I think I do that for sure, to relax. Jordan, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Lagatha, yeah, that's true. Lagatha from Vikings is quite cool, but I mean, you can't show a little girl that. I mean, the TV show is freaking bloody, and that if that is the only exposure to a strong female, maybe not. So that's a bit, and you know, like all the posing, like I was thinking about how to pose, and all the like artsy poses of women are made to like enhance the female form in general, you know, arc the back or all these things. And I I was as my daughter was falling asleep, I was lying next to her in bed and thinking like, it's pretty shitty pickings out there, you know. Kuru, yeah, definitely. I mean, the whole like role swap posters they've done for Marvels, you know, where Hulk is looking over the shoulder and arcing his butt, you know, or things like that. I mean, it just shows how silly things are. Um, how all female characters are just, you know. Mikhail, yeah. I mean, obviously in real life there's sport heroes, female ones, obviously. But such a shame with that is all like really successful female athletes. They all have pin-up photos. You know, not even they are safe. Yeah, Overwatch is still the same. I think the only one um, that's pretty good from Overwatch in the sense of design, but her design is not very interesting. It's the that ice character, whatever her name is, some really short name like Mia or whatever her name was, Muff. Don't remember. May. There we go. Yeah, May. But she's just caked in clothes, so in that way she's good. But still, it's not a lot of design there. It's just she's hidden in a sense, which is better. But yeah, not sure. I mean, it's not. I mean, you can't tell girls to look up to Symmetra. But actually, kinda can. She's pretty, not too bad, but you know, compare that to the cowboy guy, whatever his name is. High Noon. I mean, there's no cool characters like that for women. They all have to be revealing, you know. Yeah, I don't know. There's just so much catering to sexuality. Oh yeah, that by the way, um, that Anna. Yeah, let's Google her. Yeah, she's pretty good. But again, she's very hidden, like caked in things. 3 layers of gear. But, you know, it's pretty good. Way better than bodysuit. High gloss bodysuit. Michael, yeah, definitely. Sure is. That's the reason why they look the way they do. And majority of people playing, etc., are boys. Zarya. Who the hell is Zarya? Overwatch. It's just some. Oh, her. Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty good. As a character design, you know, as in. It's a pretty good one. Pretty like neutral in the sense of kind of pin-uppy in compared to other male characters. I mean, it's quite lots of male designs are neutral, and she's neutral as well, even though she's a female. That's a pretty good one. Boob armor, sure, but boob armor is always going to be boob. There's always going to be boobs there on a woman, you know. But it just needs to be more badass women for girls. And I think men wouldn't mind playing with a female character or watching a movie about a strong female hero, as long as like the actions are badass and it doesn't contradict. You know, contradict the character. I don't know. It's very tricky. And it's a bit of a shame, really. Like, when I think about, like, what to talk to my daughter about, like, who's really cool character as a woman. Because my son already thinks, like, women are not strong. And I was like, yeah, why? But he was like, no, there's no strong women. You know, he's just been watching cartoons, whatever, and all the girls are just damsels in distress, while the men are full of action. You know. And I had to tell him, like, no, girls can definitely be strong. And he was like, no, I don't think about it. Yeah, almost, that's true. Ripley in Aliens, she's a good, strong, but still they had, yeah. I think that's a good, like badass female. I think in comparison, like Ripley isn't really like die hard quality of badass, but she's definitely in the step in the right direction where majority of the movie, obviously there's this, in the first movie there's this panty scene right at towards the end where she undresses she's like in tidy whities, and obviously you have to try to sell it with sex somehow. But I know Sigourney Weaver is very conscious about strong female characters, and I think she has passed a lot of opportunities to do alien movies because they wanted to portray Ripley as helpless and so on, and she's held her close to her heart, this fictional character, and she doesn't want to compromise the integrity, like in that sense that Ripley is a badass. I mean, why would you make like Die Hard 5 or whatever, and the main character is all suddenly helpless, just because it sell more. So in a way, I can understand that. Passenger, yeah, definitely. I think so. I think he he men like women. Yeah, it's true. Hey, Julio, welcome. Yeah, it's a bit shitty, the whole women thing. It's a shame. Actually, a really good female lead um, in a movie recently is the woman in Rogue One. She was pretty genderless in her actions. I think that was pretty cool. Like she wasn't the damsel in distress. She wasn't the one needing help. Like she was the person pushing for action. Those are pretty good. And also the Force Awakens female character. She did a pretty good job too. To be like gender neutral in her actions in that way. Like whatever was her name, Ray, had to do in the movie. It wasn't um, dependent on her gender. Hey there, Bart. Yeah, Passenger. Definitely. Zotropolis is a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Inside Out, yeah, it was also a good movie. But that's just for small kids in that sense. You know, where's the all the other like important characters compared to the bazillion of 1 second. I thought my daughter woke up. Coraline, yeah, it's also a good movie. I mean, there is always good examples, and I think like that's great. Uh, but there's significantly way more um, men as like strong leads in movies. Of course, you should be able to always be able to find examples of one or two. I mean, we're having to dig hard now, right? I'm already not digging this one. It feels stupid. Oh, shit. Let's continue on this one. Yeah, it's it's a bit. I don't know what. It was just an interesting thing I was thinking about because I think this Paris art exhibit wants female superhero, and I was thinking about what that has to offer for uh, for girls, and there wasn't, like I couldn't come up with a lot of really cool, strong female superheroes. Like one that I thought about was the witch from Suicide Squad. She was pretty cool. She was pretty, like a good badass female character. But then they, of course, had to make her fall in love and be vulnerable that way, you know. She'd like slave to a man had to beast her, and it was like, No, I've been having short hair for quite some time now. Jordy. Maybe it's aging. Suicide Squad was okay. It was like a Sunday movie, you know, it doesn't really matter if you watch it or not. It won't impact you in any way other than easy watching, you know. That's how I saw it, at least. Jordy. It is. Oh, I mean, oh, that's key. Yeah, that's cool. But like, I have never ever heard of that person. Yeah, some obscure manga, kind of. But yeah, it looks pretty good. But obviously, they've boobed her up good. One second, I gotta check what the cat is doing. I don't want the cat to wake up my kids. Furiosa, yeah, that's true, Holmes. She was pretty interesting, even though she wasn't the main character, but she was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, JSARS, yeah, absolutely. I don't think that's anything weird. I mean, would you look up to Napoleon Dynamite or Bruce Willis? Like, obviously, you would look up to Bruce Willis way more as a man of action than Napoleon Dynamite. I don't know who Jessica Jones is. I guess I have to Google that as well. I'm horrible with names, by the way. I guess it's some superhero. Oh. I don't know. Probably. But she seems to be some superhero in bodysuit. I don't know. She's an alcoholic with super strength. Yeah, that's also interesting. Yeah, it's really hard to find cool characters um, for or female cool characters. I mean, here, this was the witch in Suicide Squad. So it's a shitty photo, or I don't even know if it's the real one. But they had made her like really cool and dark and just powerful, and then they made her just into some silly character. Golden Tigers, yeah, I think that's the a big problem. It's like no one wants to invest in it, like time or effort, or they go just stereotypes. What sells the easiest? Julio, yeah, it was quite well made, but then they made her into some weird techno go-go dancer, and I just lost complete interest in the character when they ruined her in the movie. Like the beginning, the introduction, and and following after that, I was like, damn, this is a cool character. And then they just ruined it completely. Golden Tigers. That is very true. Actually, I have to say one design. Let me see. Um, I designed a female character for a game um, many years ago that I liked, but obviously it was very slightly sexualized because they would needed it. But this was what I designed. She was some sort of voodoo person. It's I think it's an interesting topic. The whole topic about strong female characters. Thanks. It was for Infamous 2 many years ago. It was this PlayStation 3 exclusive game. I designed lots of characters for it. It was fun to work on. Yeah, Hurri, yeah. But I doubt people would give it a serious thought, though. They would probably do some body sock um, female character with a big gun, with a boob window, and in some porn pose. that's that's majority of the way they what's it called? Not predict, depict, depict, depict females in in art, in concept art. Kuro. No, but I know generally that would be like statistically that would be what majority of the entries would be if it would be the 2-week challenge designing a strong female character. But obviously I'm exaggerating that as well. Would be cool. I want to, yeah, let's do a homage to the Suicide Squad witch. Kuro. Yeah, I think all are guilty of boob window. So am I. I have done my fair share of boob windows. Sometimes a client, for example, demands it. Maybe not directly, like in feedback, the character needs a boob window. But if you include one, the character will be sold easier to the client. I mean, I'm not saying that I've done conscious decision of adding a boob window to to sell a design, but with stereotypes, that is a common thing that occurs. Passenger, your environments are gender neutral. Yeah, but like on the whole topic of gender, and I know lots of people love the topic, and also lots of people hate the topic. But it's when you put just think about the facts of how many female badasses are there in movies and games that is not overly sexualized. No, it's not that many. Which is a shame, because women are most definitely able to be badasses. I'd like to see a female Die Hard movie. Passenger. But that is true. I think that's a fair statement. Jordy, do you mean the one in underwear and tactical gear, or the spec ops woman? Oh, or that one. Yeah, she's pretty badass. In the movies, you mean? Yeah, that's Mila Jovovich. Golden Tigers, yeah. The problem is I think there's not enough people grinding female characters, as in designing and designing and designing. Like if I would, I mean, obviously maybe I'm a little bit of an exception because I'm aware of it, but a lot of characters, there's a tendency to just go male by default. When if you get a task of saying a hero, we want a hero like for our game. The go-to gender definitely male, unless you're very aware of the fact, you know. And also another interesting topic is uh, color of the skin. White male hero. There's a lot of white superheroes. Hurri, yeah. Passenger, yeah, that's also true. Um, Kill Bill, Jordan. That was a good movie with a strong, badass female character. And I must admit, I thoroughly enjoyed watching that movie and seeing uh, Uma Thurman being a badass. And I really, really enjoyed it. She was really good at it. Thank you for reminding me of that movie. That's a really cool movie. Or movies. Hey, Daniel. Welcome. Passenger, yeah. But I'd say Kill Bill was a really good, um, a really good go at it. You know, like a strong, kick-ass female character that wasn't overly sexualized. If you think about like uh, her outfits and so on, it's not over the top, like sexualized, uh, and her actions are not overly sexualized either. She's just a badass, like fighter, which is really cool. Their part, yeah. But that is true. There was some very awkward kung fu going on there. But I mean, I just disregarded that because I just thought, oh well, whatever. She doesn't know kung fu that well, but she's trying at least. Uh, but besides the bad kung fu, it was a pretty good. Passenger. Yeah, but that's not that's not that's not the topic though. I think the problem is that if women have to be portrayed somehow, it's always going the sexual way and not just a standard hero type character like men are portrayed. You know that it's not about normalizing people because there's over the top male heroes, right? These badass assassins and these Jason Bournes and these all these things, but there's no Jeanette Bourne, you know. Hey Diego, welcome. Lurib, yeah, but that is a completely fucked up thing, I think. And what's even more interesting is the kind of intellectual um, decisions they're making, the boob streamers, to act like stupid women. Like, hey, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. Yeah, stop it, me. And all of the males, they're just enjoying it. Like, yeah, stupid girl. It's like, obviously, the boob streamer, she's well aware of the psychological tools she's using and pushing buttons on the viewers. Like, oh, they have to donate money to insult you, and then they go like, hey, why are you insulting me? Stop it, me. And then they insult her more, and she gets more money. Super weird. Super, super weird. Lucy, Jordy. Yeah, yeah, it was pretty good. It was a good example of, I think, moderately successful portrayal of a badass female lead. Oh, that's cool, Daniel. Atsuki, yeah, it turned weird. I think the setup was great, and the beginning of her gaining powers were great, and then it just became a bit strange. Passenger, yeah. It's so stupid, the whole boob streamers. Even more stupid is that they get so much money out of it. It's really, I don't get it. I don't get that the women want to do it, portray it that way, put themselves that way, and become less. And then the people paying them. It's really odd. That's true, 11. Pretty good. Michal, yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's actually pretty good. Good character to for this topic of discussion. Like, she isn't overly sexualized in her actions. She's pretty. She could be a man, or she could be a woman. Hurri, yeah, I think so too. Jordan, do it, do it, do it. Dennis, our passenger, No, I don't think so. There's plenty. Oh, by the way, topic of good female characters and also acting in general with men and female. I think a really good was Westworld. There was a really cool mix of really strong characters in general, not completely not dependent on gender. I think in that TV show there was a mix of probably about everything, and I think that was a bit what was cool about it. You didn't know like who was what. Westworld was fantastic, I must say. Water. I'll be right back. Hey, Seke, E-Mart. Golden Tires. Yeah, that's true. Prometheus was pretty good with the female lead. And she's Swedish, by the way. Yeah. I think Prometheus, her, the main actress, she was really good. Go Sweden! Cool. Yeah. I think Prometheus started really cool, but then it took some weird turn and just became bad. Just bad. Like didn't have the strength or the promise it had. Like on the build up was amazing, and then when they had to deliver on it, I think they just went with too generic, kind of stereotypical tropes of storytelling. Like, but it never went full. Well, like went the full, uh, ran the full line, so to speak. The evil boyfriend was kind of just like, all right, he's dead, and then whatever. It was like they didn't go the full 9 yards. I guess the expression is. It's a shame. It had lots of potential. Uh, CK or CK Kim Art. I haven't seen that movie actually. It looks good. It looks promising. But like, why can't there, for example, why can't there be a female Doctor Strange movie? Always have to be this damsel in distress trope. It's a shame. I think there's some really good female actors out there. Oh, Golden Tigers. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That movie, uh, Edge of Tomorrow, was really good. But she wasn't the lead though. Tom Cruise was. She was the victim. She always had to die. He always had to save her, and she was just a blonde woman in distress. When you think about it. Ghostbusters, sure. On paper, it was a good attempt at strong female leads, but watching the movie was like, why are you acting this way? Why have you chosen to portray people this way? If you think about how they portrayed the Ghostbusters in the 80s movie, um, it was completely different. And now they just had to be like, I don't know what they were doing with the character, like how they portrayed the characters, like almost extremely racist and all these things just because they had to find an edge. Because why would you otherwise want to watch female Ghostbusters? It's like, why not just make cool, badass Ghostbusters or quirky or whatever, and not just I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. I started watching it. I couldn't finish that movie. It was just so much cringe. Hey, Kuiba. Welcome. Atsuki. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not that many. Unfortunately, it's not that many. Yeah, Julio, it was just bad. Shame. Such a shame. Kind of like that. Even though it became super. Set that to luminosity. Color, luminosity. Lower that. Something like that. Oh, what was that called? Not Caravaggio. Something like Spanish sounding. Or Mexican sounding, rather. Not Calypso. Something. I don't remember. It was a good movie. Golden Tigers, yeah, that was cringe as well. Just like, yeah. Some decisions people are making, I just don't get it. Like, I lose interest when the female characters become like soulless, when they just become visual fodder. Like they don't have any depth to them other than just being sexual objects. Like I stop caring. I find it boring. Like if you're gonna go watch a movie, I'm not gonna go watch a movie because it's like sexy women in it. Right? I wanna watch a movie with cool characters, regardless of gender, right? So if it just happens to be that the main actor is a female, fine, that's cool. But then they need to have depth to it. Otherwise, why am I going to watch a movie with some idiot? And unfortunately, there's too many movies where they choose to have women like idiots. Passenger, yeah, to some degree for sure. But there is one or two really good, strong female characters in that TV show, like that evil queen, the shame person, and that girl that is an assassin. they're getting there, you know. And that large female knight is also good like female with depth to it. Passenger, yeah, more or less. Kuru, yeah, there's one, but currently in the script she doesn't have a huge part. But the idea is that she should have a big part. And that she's the idea is that she knows the most, like she brings the keys to their minds, more or less. It's a complicated story, but yeah, she is the most badass one of them all, more or less. Even though the movie is mostly about males. There's also one of the main bad guys, which is a female. And she's absolutely wicked. Well, the main bad guys are actually man and female each. There's like twins. Yeah. We'll see how that movie goes. I'm thinking she should have like some glowing Viking tattoo. It gives her the firepower. Gonna just plot it out and then properly design it. She should have like runes written over her body, following the pattern. I think I'll have to design them at a later point. Thanks, Lurib. I'm glad you like it. Like, by the way, Evren, did you just post something on ArtStation? Some angry man with a beard. Okay, let's push the values a bit up. I was painting a little bit too dark. Everence, Daniel. He posted this, or she, I don't know, but Evren is as the name. There we go. Evren's handiwork. Pretty cool. Indeed. I'm gonna do my little saturation hack I came up with the other day. Only problem I noticed with this color hack was how to maintain it as the painting progressed. I haven't figured that part out yet. Maybe I did this a bit too much. Yeah, I don't see this stream to be an overly long one due to the fact that I'm out of beer. I just bought a few because I can't get too involved in drinking beer and streaming as as my wife is abroad. I have to be a bit have to be responsible. But I think soon I'll look at the challenge entries and maybe even have a passenger, as he's the one running the show. or the challenge rather. Be a part of it. We'll see. Oh yeah, passenger gave the new topic. Let's see. Let's see. The new breed. Alright. I'll read that later. Rakes. It is a brush that I really love painting with. I don't remember from where I got it, but it has this nice texture to it. It might be Aaron, what was his surname? Hilliker? Aaron. I don't remember. Kuro, yeah, I think that'll happen soon. I think maybe we'll do like a Google Hangout, and he and I talk, and maybe I'll do paintovers or something. We'll see. I think I'll do that soon. Thanks, Andre. Yeah, J Sars, the Aaron that does the portraits. I don't remember his surname. Aaron Portrait Brushes. Let's see. Aaron Griffin. There we go. I think it's one of his brushes. Not sure though, because I have a lot of brushes from a lot of different artists. That is true, Kuro. Rakes, yeah, it's a brush I use every day. It has that dirty feel to it, but also control. And the way I've set up my Cintiq and all these things, it works really well together. Let's see what it's called. Renamed to Sketcher. Yeah, I don't know where I got it from. I think it might be from him, but I'm not sure. Rakes. Actually, I can save out the brush. I'll put it on Discord, my brush set. I'll do it either tonight or tomorrow. It's going to be under the useful links section in the Discord. So feel free to join and download them. Cool, Race. Yeah, do that. I can't do it at the moment now. painting of it. Yeah, today or tomorrow. I just realized I can't have her magic being painted over. There we go. Because as I haven't settled on the design, it has to be separate. Korea, cube brush uses cube brush. I was thinking about that as well. Zing. Yeah. Sorry for being a bit low key, but as I said, the kids are sleeping. I can't be too loud. Hope you don't mind. I need to flip. Flippity flippity flip. Oh, and the whole challenge thing, we're figuring it out, so obviously this is the first competition. It's not going to be the smoothest, perfect ride, but me and Passenger will figure it out. I let him in charge of it, so obviously I want to have some input as well. But yo, let's see if we can get Dennis on. So Dennis, if you're alive, maybe join the channel there in Discord, and let's see if the noise will. Kuro, no, there's no really competition. There's no winners of anything. It's just a fun challenge. J Soros. All right, we can do Hangout too. I'm assuming it's on Facebook. I'll just jump out of the. there's the private message. Private message. Alright, let's do the hangout. Allow. 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 Let's see. He's not. My Dutch is not super perfect. Dennis Hoover's zit niet in je kringen. I don't know what kringen is. Kringen is something. Hello?
Testing, 1, 2.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure if it's working because I cannot hear myself.
Yeah, but I think if you talk.
Hello? Testing, 1, 2. Hello.
Yeah, I think it works. I see the audio level move in the OBS. Super quiet. Dennis is super quiet.
Let's see. I'll get out of the design challenge thing.
Yeah, I don't know what. I think my microphone is probably boosted. Because
If I can find something in the chat settings.
No, because you're looking at the thing moving up and down, the audio. You're like halfway from where I am in audio level.
Testing. Maybe I should speak a little bit louder.
That probably is a bit louder. Let's see what they say. How do you hear him? You can have to talk now. Dennis, say something so they can hear if it's louder or not.
Say something. I got a little bit of a delay myself, so I hear what we say a little bit later.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, the stream and when we are talking is not at the same time as the stream. It's like 30 seconds later on the stream.
Yep, that's kind of confusing. So I probably should mute the stream and then.
Yes, don't have the stream on. It'll help you be less confused.
There we go. Okie dokie.
So, as I said, we haven't prepared or anything.
Oh, just flying in there.
Yeah.
I suppose.
So I guess let's just have a look at the entries.
Yep. Yeah, there was I think 4 or 5 entries for the first challenge.
Oh yeah, Kuru finished that one. He did the. He finished that one later. So let's see. Derbard, Kuru, Michal, Sayart, Lurip, Derbard.
Yep. one thing I like to say is that it was really cool to see people posting their work in progress. It's nice to see the thought progress and all the different iterations
Yeah.
going through. Really shows well how the images are made, and yeah, the end results are really cool.
So what was the topic again?
That topic, the first challenge topic was, let me read back into that. The topic was the latest cybernetic limbs must be connected to the internet to download driver updates and stable operating software. Unfortunately, even meta limbs can be infected with viruses.
Mm,
So people had to actually, yeah, turn that little story into a painting. And yeah, I think it's really cool to see everybody's different interpretations of it.
yeah, I really liked like Dear Bard's almost like magazine illustration.
Hmm.
Uh, it looks like editorial, like it would be in a science magazine.
Yeah, it's a really strong start. He posted that he didn't have more
Yeah,
time to work on it, but I think it's a really strong start for a strong illustration.
yeah, and also this Lou Ribs that like how they had to revert because obviously I guess the drivers or whatever the virus was a virus in the modern tech, an airborne computer virus. Now I wouldn't know how an airborne computer virus would work, but I like the idea of they had to revert to older tech.
Yep, it's the idea I also liked was from, let me see, sorry, I have to look for the openings. Holmes entry with the virus being in a different machine and the mechanic having to solve that problem. When I posted the challenge, I kind of was thinking from the perspective of you having the limbs or a person having the infected limbs or whatever. But to take it into a different machine, I thought was also a really cool idea.
Mm,
Kind of like he has to solve the matrix. What's going on? Why is this machine not working?
yeah, yeah, exactly. I liked. I think Ohms worked. He worked hard as well.
Yeah, it was really really nice to see all the original sketches, the thumbnails and everything, and
Mm,
taking it to this version. Was posted some feedback, and I think he really incorporated that well in his final image,
yeah,
really enhancing the light effects and bringing the scene to life much more. It's yeah, it came out really nice, I think.
yeah. The light was good.
It's from the work in progress to the final version was really like somebody actually turned the lights on in the environment. Before it kind of was like there is something happening in the room, and
Mm,
after the updates, it really was like, all right, now we really see where the focus is. And now there's this big machine and this mechanic dude figuring out like with all the different discs he's trying, like how to solve
yeah,
this thing there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's a really nice interpretation of the story, and also yeah, an original twist of it.
Hmm. Yeah, his Sayart's sketch is pretty cool. And there was Kuru's. I think I loaded the. Yeah, here's still his. I like the little message there with his fucked up hand. It's good.
Yeah, and also another thing I'd like to point out that for the people who enter the challenge, it's a good compliment to finish your work in that time.
Hmm.
It's always a good thing to practice getting things done within a set time frame. And
Yeah.
yeah, people all made it their own story and made their own interpretation. And also, finished it in time, and that's always that seems like the most logical thing, but you don't want to know how many people enter challenges and then don't finish it or forget about it or all that kind of stuff. So actually sticking to it and finishing it, it's really a good thing to practice. And yeah, it shows you can actually get a lot done within that short time, basically.
Yeah. Okay, there, Bart. I won't make too loud noises.
Yeah, and I'll look into my microphone volume next time before we start.
I think it's my end as well. I think I have a gain on the microphone, so I don't need to shout when the kids are sleeping. Probably I need to fix that as well in that case. Um, yeah, some really cool entries. I'm really glad to see so many joining in. I think Michal's was also good, but I find that one a little bit like missing in the story in that sense, like the whole driver update. Um, Same a little bit with Sayards. Um, just by the image themselves without the text, in that sense, it made it a little bit harder to get. Um,
I think that in general would be a point of critic for all entries. Basically, if you look at the first one with Holmes, he really puts the scene well. But I'm thinking that showing the malfunction, like maybe some wires that are breaking or some, you know, some other things to really show that there is a infection going on. That is indeed could be stronger in all the images, basically.
yeah, yeah,
Where
that narrative is a bit missing.
yeah, and it's
But I think
very
Kuro though is pretty close to it, but you don't get it that it's an upgrade, like or update. It looks more like he gets a "you're fucked" sign because he broke his hand.
yeah. It's the one where it's most clear that something is infected or has gone wrong. Actually, it's
Yeah,
I think visualizing an update would be difficult, but to show that the system is infected by a virus, I think that's best shown in Kuro's example, indeed.
mm,
The other ones are um, showing the prosthetic limbs in a very strong way. There's some really cool designs for that and
yeah,
original takes on it. But indeed, the malfunctioning of them or them being infected uh, um, doesn't show too well. Like for example, the loo rib one could maybe one of the legs could be broken or show some electrical thing coming out, some sparks or something like.
mm,
He's even looking at his arm like, hey, why isn't it working or something? Could be more of a could indicate a little bit more that indeed it is infected or
yeah. But I think in Illyrib's entries that this is this would be the uh, I don't know if it's about them, but they would be, I guess, the enemies or the opposite side of the infection, right?
Mhm.
So they're retrofitting so that they're not being affected by it.
They're kind of like adapted to the environment for it already.
Yeah.
It's a really cool design, by the way. I really like that. I can imagine that there is, if you make a couple of more like those, you
Hmm.
actually have like a really strong team going on.
Yeah.
It's
Same for, I think, same for Michal. The, there's also something there. Like, do more of that, and there's some interesting designs, but the narrative aspect was a bit lost. I mean, no one's saying that you have to be very on point in the narrative, but I think just a little bit too hard to figure it out. But it's cool. I think he had some good. Michal did some good explorations, um, but they were all around the same direction, like this
I
monster arm.
I have to say that I really like his rendering style as well. It's almost like the cell shaded look, but taken a little bit further. So on.
Mm.
Really cool. Also cool color design, I think.
Yeah, I think the problem with arms is it's not obvious that it's a huge mech standing, and she's like, or he, no, it's a she. She's troubleshooting the mech. Like that is not instant for me. Like looking at the picture.
Could be like a machine where you take place seating or something like that as well. But I think maybe I saw the thumbnails, so I saw a lot of Macs basically, so I
Yeah,
automatically connected it to the final image. But
yeah, yeah. But looking at it, I'd say it's a bit hard to pick that out. Um, I think one of the, let's see if the pointer is visible. I don't think it is. Maybe it is. I'm watching the stream to see if there's a delay. I'll see my face turn. I just need to check if the pointer is moving. No, it's not. All right. I think there's like perspective issues, making it even harder to see the mech. Like the perspective is breaking at points. Like the floor line where the wall meets the floor at her feet, going behind the mech and then looking at the wall above. It just kind of pinches too much, and there's so many lines going in, and the light is equal, and the mech just gets lost in the treatment of the light. Like I'd rather see the core where she's opened the mech and put the cables in, I guess. Um, that should be one of the main light sources, and same for the her um, computer, and then all the other light sources should be secondary, so that you see it stronger.
I think it could also benefit a little bit from some framing, a little bit with some darker edges where you
Yeah,
put the focus more inwards, basically.
yeah,
And indeed showing a little bit of a malfunction, like maybe a red button flashing, or a broken wire with some electricity sparks jumping out of it or something.
yeah, exactly.
It's a really cool image, though. And what I also like from looking on the Discord and seeing Holmes upload regularly, because he's also working hard on his own stuff and the studies, is
Hmm.
that I think he has a really recognizable style already. Just
Yeah,
stylized, comical, and I mean that in a good sense. If you want to go for ultra realism, yeah, you might want to consider some different renderings and some other approaches. But the style it's really a recognizable style already. That's what I really like about him. I would say that he really just needs to keep doing his own thing, and then after time, he will be really recognized for that style as well. I think.
yeah. For me, for some reason, I think about Ubisoft when I see Om's paintings, especially that one I gave feedback on
Yeah,
the,
the other one was kind of good for like a platformer game.
yeah,
Kind of like I don't know what their big title was again, but I know what you mean. Yeah, but it's got that look to it indeed.
yeah. I think like people are mentioning Dearbard. I think his was really, it was good, really good. Like I said, it felt like very editorial and very descriptive, and showing the topic quite well.
Yeah, definitely.
I just would have liked to see it like worked on more, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I would definitely recommend that he finishes because even apart from the challenge, you really got a strong image. And he mentioned that he unfortunately had to merge all the layers, but I'm sure there has to be workarounds to cut them out, and maybe work on each character and then reintroduce them into the main image again or something.
Yeah,
But yeah,
hopefully.
definitely cool image.
Yeah, it was.
I like the attitude of the guy sitting on top. He's kind of like,
Hmm.
fuck it all. It's
Yeah, that being said, I think it's a little bit too posed, too framed. Like we see the characters straight, uh, like they're dead on. Um, like we see him facing us, we see their backs. Like I think what, and his leg is straight on, uh, in the middle of the table. I think just playing around with framing, and I think the monitors and the thing he sits on is also like we see it straight ahead, and it flattens it a bit.
I think that also contributes to giving it that illustration idea, because
Yeah,
it's really centered that way.
yeah,
If you move it to the right a little bit and have maybe some distant monitors in the back or something, you
yeah,
get more of a concept image out of it.
yeah, exactly.
Reminds me a little bit of the French comic artist I used to read in the 80s. They also used this style quite a bit.
Mm, that's cool. Yeah, I think it was a good turnout, even though it was the first little challenge we had.
Yeah, yeah, it's a small beginnings, of course, but indeed very different work and very cool works as well. It's
Mm,
of course everybody will have their own unique style and interpretation of it, but it's really cool to see that visualized. And I'm also yeah hoping that in the future more people take part of it. It's going to be quite fun to see, I think.
yeah, definitely.
And yeah, maybe as a little announcement for the people entering the challenge, we're working on a little page where we're going to collect all the pieces that have been submitted. The pieces that have been talked about in the stream. They will be collected and saved, just like the information from all the challenges. And we're basically setting up a page to have that nicely organized and all brought together in a good to navigate page, basically. So I'm working on that right now, and I think by the next Saturday stream, I can show you guys what we've come up with. And from there on, we're going to take these challenges a little bit more serious, and also you guys can find stuff and information back on Bjorn's website.
Mm, yeah, exactly. And it's like an archive almost of.
Yeah, because the Discord is nice, but it's it becomes really difficult to find the challenges back, and you have to go scrolling to all the pages to find
Yeah,
everything. It's really a limited platform in that way.
yeah. It's good for chatting, but it's not good for archiving.
Yeah, I think it's also cool if we really show the works that everybody's made, and that way show a little bit from the work from people in the community and everything.
Mm,
That's
definitely.
something we're working on. So start working on those challenges and keep uploading them. They will all be saved and compiled on a soon to be coming page.
Yeah,
The next challenge is already up there. So the next 2 weeks, everybody knows what they can spend their time on if they like a little challenge for the week.
yeah,
I think it's a little bit of a broader subject this time. It could be done with for character artists, but also environment artists.
mm,
I noticed there is a lot of character artists so far.
yeah,
Need some more environment guys to come out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's see, did we go over all the images?
I think so. I think so. In the at least in the thread.
Yep. Yeah, as I said, it's really cool to see all the steps that they have posted around. It gives really good insight in the thought process, and it's something I really need to do much more myself as well. Just make a couple of quick sketches, idea sketches, plan out the scene in advance so that you really know what you're going to be working on, and then really work that out into a final image that way.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's good to show steps for sure. You get way more insight in where things go wrong and where people are struggling, um, and also see how people are thinking and how they're rationalizing, uh, what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a skill in its own, of course. You know, recognizing your monsters, killing your darlings, and but also being aware of what image is the best one, which one will work best for the story you want to bring across.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You can see also. Um, I found it interesting to see Om's evolution of sketching. Even though I didn't comment too much, I didn't want to color color the entries by talking about them. Um, but it was really interesting to see, like, Om's searching for the the best version by sketching and sketching. I think it was cool to see.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of those things that it's really easy to talk about. Yeah, you have to do some sketches and you have to think ahead, and then you probably have a better image when you plan it out. But it's much better to actually see it, and that was inspiring for me as well. To be all right, it really works. You know, you can really it really saves time if you spend a little time in advance. You know, if you figure out the scene in advance, you're going to save so much time later on because you actually know what you're going to be working on instead of having to figure that out during the painting all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a practical thing, but also a very big time saver that way.
Yeah, I found most of the things when you see them, even though you just kind of sketch them out, they be represented differently, and you rationalize about them differently.
Mm. Let's see. I'm looking at the chat as well.
Yeah, people are not really hearing you. Unfortunately, we have to sort that out um, for the next.
Maybe I'm just speaking very low. You know, it's really late over here, and I'm also kind of like whispering with even minding your kids sleeping. It's like I'm sitting in your living room. Like,
Yeah, yeah. You can scream all you want. All right, awesome. So looking forward to the next stream. See what everyone comes up with.
hmm and also to everybody, just be posting feedback on the challenges and everything. You know, it's not a competition or something. We don't want to make it like there's a winner or a best picture or anything. We kind of also want to show everybody's work, regardless of what kind of stage you are or whatever kind of stuff. So just feel free to provide feedback for each other, help each other out to make the best possible pictures. You know, you're not gonna help somebody else win or make yourself lose that way.
Yeah,
It's a good thing for everybody to contribute, and and on the other hand, just be open to suggestions from people, and even if you have different plans for your challenge or your image or whatever, just take into account what other people are sharing about it, and you can always dismiss it if you don't agree with it, but maybe you can take something away from it. So
Yeah, it's always worth considering.
yep. So yeah, just be helping each other out with that kind of stuff. It's a really cool way to work towards possible portfolio images. If you spend a little bit of thinking about an image and you really get some help from fellow peers and everything, that can really help to make a final image which you can actually use in your own portfolio later on. So
Yeah,
help each other out with that kind of stuff. And, and I'm sure that we're going to see some really cool entries in the future.
yeah, I agree. All right.
Instantly digging your little overpaint there.
Yeah,
Really cool to see how rapidly you guys just jump into those images, and then 5 minutes later, it's like, okay, now I see.
just trying to kind of harmonize everything, kind of place her in the situation more, because now she just kind of pasted in there. She doesn't really, um, like, obviously now I'm doing very heavy-handed changes. It's not like subtle brushwork. I'm just kind of going like Terminator over the painting away things. But
That's the advantage of having a second pair of eyes, right? I think the coolest overpaints are usually when people take the liberty to go really like, all right, I'm gonna take this into a completely different direction or really radical changes with it.
mm, yeah, I'm not doing any radical changes other than trying to just push things in the right uh, direction, just to kind of enhance what Alms already had decided on.
Keeping the original image intact, still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of overpaints on YouTube before where you see one image, with a mountain, and 10 minutes later it's a completely different image with a temple in a jungle, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
cool overpaint, but
yeah,
not an
exactly,
actual image.
exactly.
But yeah, it's really cool to see how other people can take an image in a different direction or really enhance the storytelling or add new elements to it.
Mm,
Goes for people of all level, by the way. It doesn't matter if you're really long time professional or beginner. It's really cool to see how people would build upon an already existing image that way.
yeah, yeah. I find it very interesting, the whole feedback thing, and it's something you also have to be careful with. Like, what are you gonna? What's the validity of let's say doing a paint over? You have to be a bit conscious about it, and not just like in a way saying, "This is what I would have done," um, because you have to also think about. You have to be more practical in the changes you're making. Like, so I'm going to suggest changes. What are the changes I have to suggest now? Other than just saying I would have done it this way. You like the same with teaching. If you're going to teach someone, you have to figure out how to teach, right? And figure out what you know in order to be able to teach it.
Yeah, it's both trying to understand the other person while also getting in touch with your own knowledge again. Like, what are the steps to make this image better? And usually, I think you'd find that if you've more experience, you just know, like, all right, maybe the lighting needs some improvement, maybe the framing needs improvement. It's kind of like automatisms you can apply to every image, basically. And
Yeah,
I think that that's also the best kind of overpaint and critiques people can give. Don't try to change the story or come up with completely radical stuff, but try to hand people several steps they can keep in mind with every image, basically. So not only the overpainted image improves, but their overall painting abilities improve.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing, like I talked about before, when it comes to pushing an illustration to as far as final as you can do, and that it's like the last 5% that you will never be able to do in a painting, but every time you have to try to reach it, and every time you try to reach it, you'll get better at it. Like you teach yourself the moves to get closer to finalize a painting, and uh, and I think that's very important, like to practice.
I think it's for that to really start working, you also need to be a little bit confident and already have your own style, right? Where you feel like this is what I want to make, this is the type of painting.
Um, Not really. I think yes and no, but it's not that important that you have to have your own style or anything. It's just a matter of um, trying to push your knowledge as far as possible. It's like doing tests in school, right? You're gonna have an exam. You have to cram the data into your head so that you remember it, right? So that you can perform the best. And the level of knowledge before and after the test is that you're gonna be smarter after the test, regardless of your points in the test. And it's the same mentality of like trying to push a painting as far as you can. Like I really, really need to try all my best moves to make it look good, right?
Hmm.
And then when that's done, you're gonna naturally be better because you try to improve and you really, really dug deep to try to come up with ways to make your painting better. Obviously, if you have your own style and all these things, it's going to be easier to do.
Yeah, I was thinking of it in a way that you need to have your, maybe a better way of putting it is your comfort zone practice. You need to have
Oh yeah, yeah. You need to rely on your best moves. You
yeah,
know.
and then basically you can be like, all right, I've done those steps, and now how can I push it further? So you have to be a little bit aware of your work process already,
Oh
basically.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, you can't go out in the deep waters and be completely experimental and assume that you'll be able to do a portfolio worthy piece straight off the bat. You have to.
I've done that so many times where just I'm like slapping some paint strokes around and think like, this is going to be a next portfolio piece, and then you take it halfway. You've got your ideas and it goes for this initial enthusiasm, and then halfway you totally burn and crash because you didn't have an idea and things are not working out and it's not planned properly and everything, and you just start another one, and then 6 months pass and you have like 100 images and none of them is portfolio worthy. It's kind of like
Yeah.
every artist's nightmare.
Yeah, it's always like that, isn't it?
But yeah, I really do think that planning ahead, and making those thumbnails, like the guys did in the challenge as well, really helps a lot to
Oh yeah, I think so.
get an idea of where you want to go, and to also inspire new ideas. Maybe you like two thumbnails instead of only one. So wow, you got two ideas for two images, or you
Yeah,
can expand on something, and it really gets things going and makes for much more informative work that way.
yeah.
A big takeaway for me, something I'm gonna apply in my work much more.
Mm, I
That's
think so.
that also ties in a little bit on. Find the name again. Dearbot was mentioning that he was struggling a little bit with sometimes working, taking too long on an image or working slower than he would like to. And
Mm.
if you get your workflow going and if you just keep pumping out those images, at one point you will get that automatism and um, also be much smarter about what you don't need to do in your images anymore. And I think that's one of the things where people really start working faster. It's not it's much more about reducing things in your workflow than adding new things to it, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Where you make much more informed choices or plan ahead and know exactly like there's going to be four characters in the scene and they're going to be in a dynamic pose and one of them is going to be this and one of them is going to be that. If you plan ahead and if you rely on a workflow to work for you, in time you'll get that speed and everything naturally and automatically.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's about like rationalizing moves more or less,
Mm.
and you teach yourself what you like to do. Like that's why also the whole warm ups I do and things like that is I like to challenge my process to make me rethink, and maybe I'll like I'll rattle the tree enough, so that I kind of pick up something new, and that'll turn into something new process that will force my thinking differently.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, that's the whole idea about my warm ups, at least to practice, experiment, and fail a lot. I failed too much.
Yeah, it's really finding what works for you. It's really a process of deduction. I think I find when I started with concept design, I did so many different things, from 3D to photo bashing to drawing to straight on painting, all these kind of different things basically, and you just have to find out what works best for you and what you find most fun working in basically. And then after you found that, it's even you're not making sketches at first and then you crash and burn somewhere in the middle, so you learn to make sketches from there on and you improve your workflow. It becomes one thing you do naturally from there on, and more like those little steps are coming basically to make you work faster and get closer to the image you want to make basically.
Mm, definitely. No, I don't think. I think your sound level is still very low, and I think we should wrap uh, the talk until we figured out why you're so low and people having to be annoyed by it.
Yep. Yeah, I'll check into my mics and we'll have to look into this Hangout Discord thing to maybe
Yeah,
look into, I think.
yeah, yeah. I think I have to look into settings as well, and we might as well do that offline.
Okie dokie. Yeah, then thanks again for having me here, doing my little talk here. And of course, thanks to everybody for entering the challenge. And looking forward to what you guys come up with next time.
Definitely. And I think I also will be finishing the stream now. I have an early morning tomorrow and can't really sleep in. Um, so thanks everyone for coming, and I think I'll try to finish this one. Um, I kind of dig the painting. So, anyways, thanks everyone for coming.
Arrivederci. Have a good weekend and stay creative, everybody.
Exactly. All right. I'm gonna do the outro. I'm gonna do the outro. All right.
Uh,
He's coming. He's coming. Bye.